Hello and welcome to the channel. Be sure to share, like, and comment down below. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button for daily videos on news and politics. Unmasking request by Samantha Power, Susan Rice exploded during period of missing Strzok-Page text. In an interview posted on YouTube Monday, reporter Sarah A. Carter told Fox News host Sean Hannity that the Deputy Attorney Rod Rosenstein likely reauthorized FISA warrants against President-elect Donald Trump following the 2016 presidential election. Now, in addition, Carter revealed the number of unmasking requests exploded during that time frame of the missing Strzok-Page text messages. So let's take a listen in on what Sarah Carter had to say on the missing tapes and the corruption on the FBI and DOJ.
The Flynn interview. Well, that happened on January 24th. Remember that? That's when Strzok and the other agent, and all I know about the other agent was that the other agent was on the Russia team, had gone to the White House under the pretenses that they were going to talk to him about other things and began to interview General Flynn then about his conversation with former Russian ambassador Sergei Kislyak. So now you put that into play. He didn't have an attorney present. Now you look at these text messages, and it appears that Strzok and Page already knew what was going down.
I have been saying this is far worse than Watergate. Well, in Watergate, we had an 18-minute gap in the tape that had been erased. Well, now we've got a 5-minute gap with the tip of the spear, which is Peter Strzok that's involved. He interviewed Hillary. He wrote the exoneration with Comey. He interviewed Flynn. As a matter of fact, he's involved in everything.
He's involved in everything, and then you have Lisa Page, who's the attorney. She is an attorney at the FBI directly under Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, who, by the way, is still at the FBI right now. We know they discussed him, and we believe they discussed him when they referred to Andy in their text messages. He's still there. He's apparently going to retire in March, but has not been fired. And there's a lot of concern with people within the FBI and people who are out of the FBI, and they're wondering why is he still there and what's going on, and if he is being investigated, and if his text messages are now being taken into consideration. Has anyone seen those messages? And that's something that everybody's asking.
Well, I think all of which is important. I mean, we got to get to the bottom of all of this here. But now we have 5 critical months. But this is what we have. And imagine if this is Trump. Hillary rigs the primary. We know that's a fact. Hillary through Comey, Strzok, and apparently now Loretta Lynch had her email server investigation rigged. That means she gets to continue as a presidential candidate when she should have been charged, because the evidence in the email server scandal was overwhelming and incontrovertible.
Gross negligence.
Gross negligence, mishandling of classified information, obstruction of justice. It's all. She would have been charged if she was anybody other than Hillary Clinton.
Absolutely.
Then they tried to rig using this phony bought and paid for Clinton dossier. Then they used that to rig the general election by using salacious lies that they paid for against Trump. But even worse, then they go to a FISA court. This was the first big report you broke open. And they got a FISA warrant against the opposition party in an election year, Donald Trump, and then an incoming president or president-elect.
Absolutely. And now look what's happening right now. Now we have the House Intelligence Committee ready to put out this memo, and apparently I've been told recently that it'll be about 2 to 3 weeks. I know that some congressional members are trying to push for this memo to be released earlier, but apparently it contains explosive evidence of FISA abuse within the FBI, and I want to know if they delivered false information to the FISA, which is the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. If they did that, it could not only mean firings, it could mean criminal prosecutions.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, see, I think these are the key players. I think that McCabe needs to be fired and investigated. Strzok and Page obviously fired and investigated. Bruce Orr fired and investigated. James Comey investigated. He's not going to get fired. I think he's at risk of multiple felonies. Then never mind Hillary for a moment. And on top, Rod Rosenstein. In the middle of all this, and Special Counsel Mueller, the whole thing needs to be disbanded.
Well, because we got to ask ourselves, was Rod Rosenstein involved in reauthorizing those FISA surveillance warrants?
Don't we believe the timing shows he had to?
We believe the timing shows he had to. I mean, we don't have positive proof of that yet, but what we know of is those FISA surveillance warrants were reauthorized again and again, and they were continuing to investigate President Trump and members of his team even after the election. And you know what's even more concerning for me, Sean, is the fact that during those months of those missing text messages, remember the unmasking? That is when we discovered, and remember John Solomon and I wrote these stories about the unmasking. That's when it sped up. That's when the unmasking went into high gear. We have Samantha Powers with 300 unmaskings, although she's denying that she signed off on those unmaskings. We have Susan Rice. We have others within the Obama administration that had signed off on all of those unmaskings. We suspect that Ben Rhodes was involved in it, and his name has come up several times.
Alright, so there you have that portion of the interview. Now that it goes on to say that former Obama administration officials are subject of intense scrutiny in relation to Congress investigating into unmasking allegations. According to the Washington Free Beacon, former United Nations Ambassador Samantha Power unmasked hundreds during her final year as an Obama administration official. Now, the Washington Free Beacon reports that Power was first identified by the Washington Free Beacon last month as a central figure in a congressional investigation into efforts by senior Obama administration officials to obtain classified intelligence information in what many allege was an effort to undermine President Trump and his incoming national security team. Now, Power is believed to be the anonymous official responsible for hundreds of unmasking reports during the final year of the Obama administration, according to the current and former U.S. officials who spoke to the Free Beacon about the ongoing investigation. Efforts by the former Trump administration to obtain the names of the Trump allies included in raw intelligence reports have fueled speculation that subsequent leaks to the press were orchestrated by the former administration and its allies in a bid to damage the current White House and smear Trump's most senior confidants. Now, when asked why Power would need to be involved in such gathering of classified intelligence, the source said that's not just the sort of thing that she should have been concerned about unless she was playing the role of political operative with the help of the Intelligence Committee. Now, as TGP previously reported, independent journalist and author Mike Cernovich broke the story that the leaker and unmasker is former NatSec advisor Susan Rice. On Sunday, we learned that additional text messages sent and received by disgraced FBI agent Peter Strzok and had been handed over to Congress. In yet another twist to the Strzok saga, the FBI failed to hand over a block of missing text messages of a 5-month period. Now, the revelation raises even more questions about possible collusion between the FBI, Justice Department, with the Obama White House in an effort to undermine Trump.